Hey, what's going on, everyone? So today I want to talk to you about my experience with my 21 day fast. Just as a disclaimer, I got here, before I get into that, I got my whiteboard here to kind of keep me on track with everything that I want to say. And I just want to keep the video going, and I want to talk to you guys like you're actually here with me. So that way, we're kind of just having a conversation. So, just as a disclaimer, this is not my first time doing a 21 day fast. I've done a 21 day water fast before, and the experience was definitely different. This one, it was different than this one because I was in a much better place physically and mentally, and I was a little more prepared, I guess you could say, for doing an extended day water fast. So, with that being said, I would say that this particular fast definitely taught me a lot. Um, I will definitely say, as another disclaimer, make sure. Um, I guess I would tell myself, because I like to make sure that I'm focusing on my personal experience, because I don't want to come off like I'm trying to tell you what to do. You have to figure out what works for you. But for me personally, next time what I will do is I will definitely make sure that I prep before I go into the water fast. And what I mean by prep is be cautious of what I'm eating before going into the fast, slowly weaning myself off of the junk food, the fast food, the sweets, and all of those things, instead of just kind of jumping right into it. But what I will say is, before I did go into the extended fast, I fasted twice for 24 hours before I got into the actual fast. And I'll talk about it more detail why I actually did the fast and why I jumped into it the way I did. This video, I just want to focus completely on my experience with this particular fast. So, um, for at the beginning of the fast, it was it was difficult. It was extremely difficult because I was dealing with a lot of different mental health issues, and I was completely overwhelmed just by life and at the fact that my personal health um, has been declining for a long time, and I it definitely showed up immediately at the beginning of the fast. So yeah, definitely won't jump into another fast like that again next time without prepping, because that was some scary stuff. So what happened was the fast put me in my body into complete shock when on the first night of the fast. I can't even I can't even put into words the amount of fear that I had and what transpired. It's really hard to put into words, but I'll do the best I can to express to you what I felt. It was it was like, imagine five or six different people trying to punch their way out of your head. That's what it felt like. I had pulsating all over my head. It was at the front of my head, the side of my head, the back of my head, and it was all happening simultaneously. And I had no control over it. It was like my brain was shutting down or something. I can't explain it, but I was I was scared. I was afraid, and I was like, "What am I doing? I have to stop this fast." But something told me, just keep going, just Just trust the process. You're going to be okay. So I just took a deep breath, and I was able to calm myself down and eventually go back to sleep. Ooh, excuse me. Drink some water. Sorry. So yeah, I was able to calm myself down and ask myself, like, you know, well, not ask myself, but just remind myself that I'm safe, everything is okay. And also another disclaimer, I was able to take off of work. I was, well, technically I didn't take off because I was actually fired from my job. So, but thank God I'm in a position to, you know, not have to worry about my finances. And, you know, thank God for that. So, didn't really have to worry about that. But so going on with the next thing, that part was really scary with, my head just basically spinning, and I had no control over it. So I definitely had trouble sleeping, and I was having these heart palpitations that were not going away, and that lasted for, I would say, about 2 weeks. So I was going through pure hell. It was hard. I'm not gonna lie. This fast was very, very difficult for me. I felt like everything that could have happened during my fast. I had every single symptom during the fast. The only thing that I believe that helped me from not having headaches was that I was supplementing with magnesium glycinate, and I was also drinking electrolytes. So I was adding salts and potassium chloride to my water, and that, I believe, was helping me to get through the fast without having the headaches. So I just want to say that too as another disclaimer. I was having a lot of fatigue. I was tired because I wasn't getting a lot of sleep. I was waking up probably every hour, every time I would try to go to sleep, and it was it was difficult, I would say, to focus on anything, and I was just basically just tired. I was like a zombie for the first 2 weeks, and yeah, I was exhausted. My body was tired. I was extremely stressed, and I was already stressed out before the fast, and the fasting puts a lot of stress on you as it is. It's a it induces stress, so that's a part of fasting. But if you prep, like I said in the beginning, properly, you won't have a lot of the symptoms that I had. Another thing that I experienced during the fast, and I'm just talking about all the, so don't, it wasn't just all negative. I just want to say that it wasn't all. I just want to get all the I guess the bad stuff out of the way. Just some of the things that were not desirable, I guess you could say. But yeah, so I had really, really bad breath. That was, I think that was one of the most challenging parts for me, because I like to be I guess you could say I'm a pretty clean person. I like to keep things neat and tidy, and I like to keep myself smelling good. So it was really difficult to experience that, because not only did I have the bad breath, but I had a terrible, terrible taste in my mouth. And it if I could be honest, it tastes like I don't know what poop tastes like, but I would imagine the way the taste in my mouth, it was awful. It was awful. Of course, if you know anything about, if you've done any research on people that have done fasting, with the white paste on the tongue, I experienced that as well. My tongue was extremely white. When your body's detoxing, that's, excuse me, one of the symptoms. Um, One of the symptoms of fasting is your tongue gets white. Yeah. So what else did I experience? Oh yes, the smelly bowel movements. Maybe TMI, but I want to talk about everything. My bowel movements that I did have, even though some people have said they don't really have bowel movements when they go on extended fasting, I had bowel movements, and my bowel movements never smelled that bad ever. It smelled like death. Like it was awful. It was so bad to where, when I would use the restroom, I would literally gag from the smell. That's how bad it was. And so I was thinking to myself, like, should I be doing this? Like, should I wait? But I didn't want to wait. I wanted to allow myself to feel. I wanted to allow myself to feel the pain. And it may sound weird, but it's when you got to the extreme that I've gotten, and I'll talk about more in detail because I want to try to keep this video as short as possible, with because there's a lot of things that led up to where I am today, as far as my health and my weight and all of those things, and I'll talk about that in later videos. But when you have when you're dealing with some extreme things, like symptom wise, sometimes you have to have an extreme response in order for you to address those ailments, so that way you can heal. And that's been my focus throughout this journey, is that I'm going to do whatever it takes for me to heal holistically. And so yeah, my going back to the stools, yeah, they were terrible. So yeah, that was that. I had some My skin became really, well, yeah, it was my skin became really sensitive, I guess you could say. And the reason why I say that is because whenever I would go and take a shower, I usually like to shower with some hot water. Like, I like my showers to be pretty hot. I don't like warm or cold. I like to take really hot showers, and my body was having none of it. I literally felt like when I got out of the shower that my skin was sunburned. My skin was extremely inflamed. Like, my hands were red, my face was red, my neck was red. Like, almost everywhere on my body, my chest was red, and my skin started it got extremely dry. So and I'm kind of glad that happened, because from my research, it's not good to take really hot showers, because it strips your body of its natural oil. So I was like, okay, well, good, because I need to stop taking really hot showers anyway. I need to try to take better care of my skin. So whatever, that was that. And I was like, okay, so I'm just going to take warmer, not warmer showers, but decrease the heat on the showers, and just you know get in the shower and clean myself, and not try to make it really hot to make me feel cozy and all of that stuff. So now going forward, um, I have a new routine when it comes to that, and I'm paying a little bit. I'm paying more, paying God, I can't even get my words out. I'm paying more attention to my skin. I wasn't giving myself a lot of attention when it came to my skin. So yeah, I'm focusing more on that. All right. So um what was that? Okay. Um yeah, so the last thing I want to talk about when it comes to the negative stuff is, and this is why I stopped, because I could have kept going, because by the time I got to the 21st day, I was determined to, to keep going. And my body was not having it. I started having, I think the last week of the fast, I started having terrible acid reflux. And thank God I have a adjustable frame, so I'm able to raise my frame on my bed, so I was able to sit upright and to sleep a little bit on the incline, because if not, like, it would have been a lot worse for me uh, with the acid reflux. And so yeah, the acid started building up in my stomach. At first, it was just burning at first, and then I started going into my throat, my esophagus, and it was burning a lot, and it was extremely uncomfortable. So I started drinking more water. I was already drinking a lot of water to begin with, but I was, drinking even more by this time. And I took some electrolyte powder to try to see if that could help. And because it was lemon flavored, I think it made it worse, because from my research, lemon is it doesn't do too well with acid reflux. So yeah, that I believe that made it worse. And also on top of that, I was watching videos on food. That's whenever it first started. That's what made it. Uh, I believe that's what made it start happening. The acid reflux, because I was watching some food channels on YouTube, and because I wanted to get some ideas as far as when I come off the fast, what I'm going to be eating, and all of those things. And so um, while I was watching the videos, that's when I felt my stomach started to growl. My stomach wasn't growling before then, so now I know that that was the reason why I started having the acid reflux. So once the acid reflux started to build up in my stomach, as I said before, it just continued to get worse, and um, and I kept watching the different YouTube channels for the food and getting the ideas, and I was like, okay, maybe I should stop watching this stuff, and that helped with the growling. My stomach did stop growling after I stopped watching the videos, which is pretty interesting. And I kept monitoring the acid reflux, and it was to the point to where I was like, okay, my throat is getting raw. Like, my throat was raw, and my voice started getting hoarse, and the taste in my mouth was just unbearable. I was like, okay, I got to stop. I have to listen to my body, and I was disappointed because I wanted to keep going on the fast, but yeah, so I had to stop. And that's when I did the refeeding. I had to go into the refeeding. But the refeeding, I believe, is the most important part whenever you're stopping a fast, a prolonged fast, because it can be dangerous if you start eating a bunch of food immediately. So I started off with some broth, and probably shouldn't have used the broth that I did. I used Better Than Bouillon, which is like a uh, like it's in a paste form, and I would mix it with the water, but it had a lot of things in the ingredients that you should not have immediately after breaking a fast. And one of those things, especially because I had the acid reflux, it had tomatoes in it, and that made that made the acid reflux just go absolutely bananas. It was terrible, and I felt like I had to throw up, but I did not. Thank God I wasn't throwing up, because that would have made things even worse, because my throat was already on fire from the acid reflux. So I was drinking broth for about 2 days, and then on the third day, I started to add watermelon, and then from that day, I just started slowly adding foods as the days went on. I was adding more fruit and more fruit, and what did I eat after the oh yeah, I had some mashed cauliflower. That was the first vegetable I introduced to my body, and then I had some kimchi for the probiotics, introducing the good bacteria to my stomach to get used to, get prepared for some other foods. And then I started eating a lot of vegetables, and then I started introducing pasta, and then I started, eating more things. So yeah, I would definitely say that going forward, um, I'm more aware now of how different foods make me feel, because I went through those stages of eating the vegetables and eating the fruits, um, and just and going back to eating some adding the meats and everything. I believe now, going forward, based on how I felt, I want to transition to a plant-based lifestyle. That's my desire now, because I felt so good when I was eating the fruits and vegetables. Now that I've added the meats and everything, my body is just, it doesn't really like it. And before, I was, I was still having some, of course I was having like I said, I was having symptoms before, but um, my body felt really good when I was eating those fruits and vegetables for the days that I was doing it. It was like I would say, the first 5 or 6 days, my body really enjoyed the fruits and vegetables. Um, I feel like I'm talking a lot. So I'm gonna try to get through this next part quickly. So I'm gonna talk about the good stuff. So I began to experience after about after about I think like the 12th day, I was I was having a lot of mental clarity, when it came to purpose, when it came to future things that I wanted to want to engage in, and I was able to journal more, and I was writing down everything that I was feeling, and things that I was envisioning. I was just writing those things down, and um, I was I was in this space where I was able to actually just see everything for what it was, and I felt, at peace with making decisions, because before I was very indecisive and very indecisive about what I wanted to do and what I felt I needed to do. And I began to just have peace with my decisions, and knowing that, God is going to be with me, and that everything that I'm seeing is for a reason. So I want to make sure that I write everything down. And that's what I did. I just started writing everything. My heart palpitations that I was experiencing, those things stopped during the fast. That was probably one of my worst symptoms, because it kept me up at night. I couldn't sleep, and that was not a really good experience for me. The heart palpitations. So I'm truly, truly grateful to God that I'm no longer experiencing that. Even though I do get some chest pains every now and then since I stopped fasting, it's nowhere like it used to be, and I believe that's because I started eating the meat again. Honestly, because that's when I started back eating meat. That's when I started having the chest pains again, and that's why I said I want to transition to that plant based to getting you know to transition over to a plant based lifestyle. I'm sorry, I'm trying to hurry up. That's why I may be fumbling over my words. I don't want to talk too much. Um, I was able to resist a lot of temptation. Uh, Before the fasting, I had a lot of vices, and I'll talk about that in another video. And I was able to um, overcome a lot of different things. I didn't have those temptations that I had before, and now I'm able to be confident and lean on prayer and God and just trust and know that I'm free from those things. So yeah, that's another good thing. So I was able to resist temptation because before it was extremely difficult for me. Um, I wasn't spending a lot of money. That was another thing. That's another a good a bonus to fasting. You're not spending a lot of money, like, because before I was eating out probably every single day, so I was spending a lot of money. I would spend probably, I would say, about $50-$60 a day on food. I was eating a lot of fast food and um well, yeah, you could say it was fast food, but I me, I would like to get food from restaurants, like the like where you can sit down and eat, like um, more expensive restaurants. So yeah, I was spending too much money, and I was able to stop spending all my money on food and Amazon. Yes, I used to shop a lot on Amazon, so I was able to slow down on that. Um, I was able to spend time reflecting and meditating. I got more into deep breathing exercises during the fast to keep myself calm. So that's another thing, and I've still been practicing those things since I stopped doing the fast, and that helps me to really stay calm and to stay focused on the here and now, just focusing on right now, not worry about the future, not worrying about my past, just focusing on right now. And of course, I was able to get closer to God and be clear about who I am and also be clear on that I'm not who I used to be, and that I am on a journey now to be a better version of myself. And I know that God is with me, and I know that he's going to keep me focused. And I'm truly grateful for everything that I went through prior to the fasting, and I'm grateful for where I am now. And I'll go into more detail about some things on another video, but my life has been a little crazy. And I say that with the most, I guess you could say it. I'm saying I'm being modest. My life has been, it's been something. I'll just say that. But I'm just grateful. I'm truly grateful. And if you, yeah, and again, I apologize. I know I was probably all over the place. I'm just overthinking a little bit because I don't want to overshare, but I also don't want to take away from my experiences. I want to make sure that I actually, just this video was really for you to get the symptoms and know what I experienced during the fast, and at the basic level, and not getting too deep into things. But um, maybe on another video, I'll be a little bit more specific about some things. But for now, I just want to say thank you for watching this video. And I want, if you can, uh, if anything stuck out to you or anything you want to suggest to me, anything that you feel like I can do better, as far as expressing myself when it comes to the with my personal experience, because I want to continue to share my personal experience with you guys, and and I would love to have you guys on this journey with me, because I'm going to continue on this wellness journey, and I want you guys to be a part of that. So be on the lookout for some future videos. And again, if there's any takeaways, you can let me know in the comment section what you got out of this video. And yeah, continue to stay on the lookout for future videos. Thank you guys so much.